Hello! Today's tutorial is not actually a tutorial. It is rather an idea how to additionally process an article. However, it has taken me rather long to bear the idea. As long ago as at the first start of my career, I tried making a basket with wavy edges. I tried weaving in the opposite directions at that time. Actually, I did manage to make the edges wavy, but the idea was not finished and had to be further developed. Later, I was deeply touched by the words of Svetlana Pustelga. It was at the time when I could log in the Strana Masterov website, leave comments, correspond with other weavers with no problem. So, Svetlana's words that weaving is similar to pottery touched me. Our material is as flexible as clay is. As well, recently Svetlana has shown a tray she made of remainders of tubes, but the article is of high artistic value. As well, I've recollected Anna's from Tambov experiments with vases. The way she decorated the woven vase has stuck to my mind, and I felt like reproducing her experiments. Finally, all of these ideas, together with the other ideas found in the web, have found expression in the mixed idea like this. First of all, it is an opportunity to recycle remainders of tubes. Secondly, it is a fast gift, which I value a lot. And finally, it is an opportunity to shape a finished article in various ways. To begin with, you have to weave a round tray. As I've already said, I'm going to recycle the remainders of tubes. I've got a lot of different color tubes left. Here I have collected them, sprinkled them with water and wrapped with a pack. Here there are remainders of light, dark, blue tubes of various shades of color. I'm going to make use of all of them. So first of all we weave a round tray. Actually the idea of the tutorial is in the second part, finishing. So I'm not going to abuse time and attention of experienced weavers. They can pass on to the second part. As for the beginners, we are going to show them the process of weaving a tray. So I've taken 12 double tubes. I have lengthened them in the middle to make them twice as long as they were, to get them long enough for a nice looking edge. And weave a round bottom. I'm not going to show you in detail how to make it, as we have the corresponding tutorial on our website. It is called Japanese bottom, the second variety of round bottom on our website. So start weaving a round bottom on 12 tubes. Distribute the tubes. My tubes are rigid. Actually, that's why I've decided to recycle them. My attempt to paint the tubes has failed. The color is nice looking, but it was the new type of coloration left after renovation I've tried. And it makes the tubes too rigid, so I don't like the way they are. I hope they will be okay for a tray. So I've woven about 6-7 rows on double poles, after which I have distributed them and woven 8-10 rows more, up to the point where the intervals between the tubes become too big. It is when I add additional tubes. Since my tray is going to be rather big, it's going to be a fruit tray, I add an extra tube to every pole. If you don't plan making your tray too big, you can add an extra tube to every other pole. My tubes are very rigid, so I insert them without a knitting needle. But if you weave too tight, you can assist yourself with a knitting needle. I will show you the way to lengthen with the help of a knitting needle for the beginners. It's a very convenient way. You just insert a needle, take it out, and insert a tube. We are going to distribute the tubes into 3 rows. So to keep my additional tubes from sliding out, I drop some glue at this stage. Insert a tube, drop some school glue. The next row is going to press the tubes rather tight. By the 3rd row the glue is supposed to dry and stick the tubes, so you can feel secure about reliability of the item. Because before I started dropping school glue, my newly added tubes used to slide out sometimes. That's why I've decided working like this. Take a needle out, tighten the tube and drop school glue. We are approaching to the final stage, so I'd like to note that because we are going to apply force to our article, it is very important to insert tubes into each other very deep, especially at the final stage. I've shown you many times already the way I lengthen the tubes, but let me draw your attention to the way I do it in this particular tutorial. I cut a tube slantwise with a very sharp angle to make a gap big enough. And it is better to lengthen the tubes in the point where the tubes cross. At least try to. Now I will show you the process once again. The angle is very sharp. My tubes are rigid, so for this very purpose it is a pro. My gap is 1 or even 1.5 centimeters long, half an inch or bigger. We are going to twist and press the article afterwards, so deep lengthening guarantees that the tubes are not going to disconnect. That's all. Finish the article. Weave it up to the required diameter. The latter depends on the intervals between the tubes. So we have finished weaving. Tuck in the tips of the working tubes in the same point where we started weaving. The first pole of the row is marked. I propose you making a simple edge for our case. We just insert the tubes through 3, 4, maybe 5 rows with the help of a knitting needle. I've already said that my tubes are failed ones. Sometimes I insert them like this, and sometimes I have to apply the old method. They are rigid and thin, so they are hard to deal with. The best way to insert the tubes is like this. And this way up to the end of the row.